Our junior miss checks out perfectly again.
Good.
I'll leave these cottage oil drops for Betty Jo.
Oh, something the matter with Betty Jo?
No, they're for the baby. How are things with you these days?
Oh, wonderful. Simply wonderful. All of a sudden, I found myself.
You decided against being a world-famous journalist?
Well, I can be one of those in my spare time. The work I'm really cut out for is in the field of human relationships.
Well, that's a field that needs a lot of help these days.
I'm going in for marriage counseling.
Marriage counseling? You?
Oh, I know it sounds funny, my being single and all, but I find I have a real knack for it.
Oh?
You see, come here. I found this couple that really needed help. They've only been married a year and they have this cute little baby. That's how I came to know about the case. I was babysitting for Steve and Betty Jo and... Oh, I shouldn't have mentioned names. But you might have guessed anyway.
Well, considering Steve and Betty Jo were the only ones around with a new baby, I might have made a lucky stab at it. So, you saved it.
I sure did. You see, that's the husband, Steve, was starting to ignore her, taking her for granted. But I set him straight.
I see. Bobby Jo, meddling can break up a marriage faster than anything.
Oh, I know that. But he wasn't meddling. He was just plain ignoring her.
Well, I certainly hope everything works out all right. It sounds pretty serious to me.
Oh, it was until I stepped in. Their marriage was hanging by a thread.
Hi, Betty Jo.
Hi, Doctor. Looks like the thread broke. And then I said, do you really think I'm a dowdy old housewife? And he said, oh, golly, I don't know if I should be telling you all this. Oh, why not? It sounds good. Besides, it's something that's just between Steve and me, and I think I should keep it in the family. Well, I'm part of the family. My family. What happened to togetherness? Well, that only applies to Steve and me. I think the less I... Sounded like a car driving up. Well, it sure did. But who in their right mind would drive here on that old, bumpy, washed-out road? Mrs. Douglas. I wonder what she's doing here. Hi, Mrs. Douglas. Hi.
Oh, hello, girls. Betty Jo, is this your house?
Yes, it is.
Good. I know the answer to the question.
What question?
Where am I?
You mean you lost your way?
I think so.
Where were you going?
No place.
But how do you know you're lost?
Because I never got there. You see, I don't drive. Isn't this a pretty place?
You're not confused? Sure, but she's company. Mrs. Douglas, if you don't drive, then what...
That's right. Olive always drives because he says I'm too much of a scooter brain. But today we had a spit.
A spit?
You know, when he goes like... And I go like... that.
Oh, you mean a spat?
No, that's past tense. Now it is a spat. Then it was a spit.
Oh, that sure is a coincidence.
It is?
The same thing just happened to Betty Jo.
Did Oliver have a spit with you? My goodness, he just can't get along with anybody.
She had hers with Steve. And boy, was it a doozy. Bobby Jo, I don't want my problem to become a community project.
That's right. When you have a fight with your husband, you must keep it absolutely secret, completely.
That's what I think. I agree.
When did it start?
This morning.
How did it begin?
When he ignored her.
What happened?
Well, first of all, Bobby Jo. Golly, I was just trying to keep the conversation up all rolling. Besides, maybe Mrs. Douglas can help. She's so sophisticated and worldly.
Oh, I'm just a plain American farm wife.
But you've had experience. Like what happens when you have a fight with Mr. Douglas? Bobby Jo, you're so nosy.
That's right, you're so nosy. But then how else are you going to find out anything? Well, when I have a fight with Mr. Douglas, I go to the beauty parlor, and I have a manicure, and I have a facial, and I have my hair done the works. And then I go to a dress shop, and I buy the most beautiful gown.
Oh, that's wonderful. Bobby Jo, that's what you've got to do. Oh, I couldn't. Yes, you could. I'll take care of Kathy Jo, and I'm sure Mrs. Douglas will give you a lift to town. Wouldn't you, Mrs. Douglas?
Certainly.
See? I don't know. Do you want to save your marriage? Come on. Go get ready. Golly, I'm sure glad you came by.
I didn't do anything.
Oh, yes, you did. The idea of going to the beauty parlor and getting all fixed up and buying a new dress, that solved your problem.
It didn't solve the problem. That's what started it.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, look, let's not mention that part of it to Betty Joe.
All right.